too quiet.
It's too quiet.
Before we get started, just wanted to know what your favorite song was.
Favorite song? Oh my god. I think it'll be Youth by Alex. It's like, I don't wanna lose my.
Welcome to the Win Club. Thank you for joining us today. Could you tell us something about yourself?
Okay, so I'm Ridhima Bhair. I'm a doctor. I recently graduated, finished my MBBS, and then I just started working in Medanta in cardiology. And I want to continue in my field and hopefully get into research a few years from now. I'm very interested in neurology-based researches. I'm very fascinated by dreams, by music. I recently bought this book. It's called Musicophilia, which correlates human minds to music and how music helps heal and how something that makes no sense, notes are random, how human minds create music out of it. And I'm always been very fascinated with dreams. Like, I do a lot of dream journaling. I wake up and if I get a crazy dream, and I get very vivid dreams, so I just write it down in my notes app. So I want to be able to study those things. And there's a lot of research going around consciousness, music, dreams, the parts of our mind that we don't understand. So eventually I'd like to get into that.
How's your day been like today?
Oh, lazy. I was on a 24-hour shift yesterday.
wow.
So I've just been lazing around, sleeping, got ready, came here.
But 24 hours yesterday, matlab,
Yeah.
very, I would say like,
Yeah, it gets, since it's weekdays and there's like OPD days, so there are a lot of patients. But then you get to rest afterwards for a couple of days, so it's fine.
this was some well-deserved rest for you,
Yeah,
right?
it's manageable.
If I was to maybe ask you to flashback in the week, or maybe you can talk about today, the things that you have noticed around you, or the things you do for yourself that give you that little bit of joy, that sort of turns that frown upside down in an instant.
So I'm a very art-involved person. I made a card for my best friend also today.
Okay.
So I paint a lot, sketch a lot, I write a lot, I sing a lot, I play instruments. So anything to do with music and sketching, art, it's where I go to. It's my happy place.
Wow, you're the bridge, huh? Science on one side, art
And
on the
art
other
on
side.
the other. I've been told so.
That's lovely. What instruments do you play?
Guitar, and I'm picking up pace on my uke.
Which is also like, do you like food a lot?
Yes, obviously. But like whenever I travel, I like to get involved with whatever people are cooking locally, and I love anything chili. So, and anything Italian. I'm always looking out for new restaurants, exploring food. So yes,
Lovely.
food is also a very big part of my life, obviously.
Any particular recipes that maybe in your family that you've grown up eating, or like you like to cook for yourself, or that favorite restaurant, that one dish?
Okay. So, Italian, anything Italian, I think I like to go to different places, try out their different risottos and raviolis. There's a Cafe Amaretto. I love
yes.
their beetroot risotto. And and I guess I like to try dark chocolate desserts. I'm a big fan of MasterChef Australia.
Okay.
So I binge watch that and binge eat along with that a lot. So
That's really cool. Medical school is really tough line to get into. What sort of kept you driving throughout? What sort of made you be like, I will stick with this through? Is it just the love for the field, or is there something beyond?
To be very honest, the love did not come initially. I wanted to quit many times, but I just kept at it. And I think for me, the field became more something that I accepted as my profession when I started interacting with patients, when we started going more into clinics, third year onwards. And the more you interact with people, I think for me that has always been a priority, that I want to be able to treat and understand people, because for me, I think looking at a book and reading about a disease was always like, I'm not sure why I'm doing this, but talking to different people, like for example, right now I have a patient in Medanta. He's a 19-year-old boy,
Okay.
and he's registered for heart transplant, and he has a single working mother, and she struggles, he struggles, and like he was my first patient on my first day, and he's been there for the past 3-4 months, and he just gives me so much, I don't know, joy and perspective, because like he could easily be like a, you know, resentful teenager that,
Correct.
you know, I'm just suffering and what's the point. But like he sees his mom struggle, his mom is holding on for him, he holds on for her. Like on my first day I was nervous, he was the one who was helping me because he's had his disease throughout his life. So I was a newbie and I was still trying to understand, okay, what's wrong with my patient? Why is he breathless? What do I give him? And he was the one, like, he must have met a lot of doctors on their first days. So he was the one, hey, why don't you check my chart, check my outputs? And that's when I was like, gotcha. And then
Okay.
I started his treatment. So those are the bits that keep me going. And like, I'm not interested in cardiology as such, but like this opening from cardio has helped me become sure of the fact that for me I need to get more deeper into a subfield where I can interact with and understand people.
Interesting.
And as I said, I'm really fascinated with how dreams and music and all of that comes about.
So, like incidents like this shaped your sort of perspective
Yeah.
and gave you an in-depth knowledge of where you want to be.
Exactly. I think I started this story from you asked me why I wanted to get into medicine. The answer is I didn't want to, but somehow I ended up here, and now I just want to stay. That's how it's happened for me. I wanted to quit many times, but I realized there is nothing else I would rather do now. Like I've fallen in love with
That's-
the subject
That's
overall.
so beautiful. There's so much of the medical and healthcare industry has so many strong women in it. From we have nurses to end doctors. The entire line is filled with so many strong women. Are there any sort of inspirations you see around you that sort of that have inspired you more to go on as well?
Women have inspired me, obviously, but somehow they're not from my field. They're more so from. I'm obsessed with that show, Masterchef Australia. I watch it. I watch the finals as if how people watch cricket finals or FIFA finals. I order food and I tell my friends to get along, and then I watch Masterchef finals. So people like Po, Julie, they've inspired me. Like Julie. Like I related to Julie a lot. She came on the Back to Win season, and she was the first winner of MasterChef.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm a doctor, so I was very good throughout my school years, you know, topping my class and getting good grades and all of that. But obviously everybody hits a low point in their
Correct.
life, and I kind of fell back on a lot of things because of my mental health and personal life and whatnot. But and I could see that Julie, when she came back to win, had those same issues, that she kept feeling that maybe I won too long ago and I've lost my charm, and or I've had my moment and that was it. And but she still went on to, I think she became top 3 or top 4.
She won the first season.
But in the Back to Win season, which was I
Oh.
think 14 years later,
Wow.
she was like a grandmom now. So, and then she slowly seeing her get back that confidence, everybody around her telling her how she's been an inspiration for them. I think her journey of gaining back that confidence was very important for me, and the same thing for Po also, because she was also there in the first season. She was the runner-up of the first season, and seeing her also get back that confidence gradually, I think there are two different journeys where you sort of start picking up from the bottom, and one is when you've seen the high and then you've had a low. So trying to figure out if that was it or if I need to get back up again. For me, that was the question that through people like Julie, I've kind of convinced myself that no, there's a lot left for me to do, because I had a moment where I was like, I'll just get into some subclinical field and live my chill, casual life. But then slowly over the past few years, I've realized there's a lot I want to do. Could be wrong here, but I think even in like the culinary world, there was something around male chefs and women chefs, and she kind of overcame that as well.
Absolutely.
So she has been a very hard, like I have videos on my phone, like I just start recording on my phone whenever I'm watching Masterchef, because it's also like a therapy session for me. They'll say the cutest and the most heartwarming stuff. So I have random videos of her just talking, and on my low days I would just go on my gallery and watch whatever I've recorded of her.
If let's say today you finished your day, you've ticked off everything you had to do in your list, or it could just be a rest day, how would you celebrate your win? How would you celebrate this free time for yourself?
Oh, I would put on loud music, get my paints out, order something nice, and paint and take a break in between, eat something, continue painting, and then just look at what I've made and share it with my friends on social and everywhere.
That's lovely. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, that's my pleasure.